Microsoft is always doing some cool stuff. They're always giving away some stuff. I did a video about this the other week, and it went over pretty well. So I believe, judging from a lot of the comments, it looks like not a lot of people actually know about this. So yeah, it's very interesting to kind of see how Microsoft does this and how they're able to sort of, allow people to kind of get the free stuff or whatever. Even some perpetually free games on Xbox, I find to be pretty interesting and pretty cool. At the end of the day, it's nice to see this kind of stuff happen. And, listen, Microsoft has the money. They can pretty much do and allow whatever they want. So that's the thing about that. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing with like Game Pass. I know it's easy to get into like the whole Game Pass can be bad thing, and maybe it is. I guess that's yet to be really written about. But at the same point in time, it's more than obvious to me anyway that Microsoft is a company that has the money to kind of do what they want and fiddle around with what they want. I mean, the fact that Xbox is even still in business all these years later, even though it's never really turned a profit, kind of shows you all you need to know, to be honest with you. So, at any rate, I want to get into this. What's up, everyone? I'm The Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. I do daily gaming content, so if you guys are looking for, someone who does stuff every single day, I give my opinion on the videos as well, and I try to be fun yet informative. So if you're into that, hey, look no further. I'm the guy. I enjoy doing those videos and things like that. So if you guys didn't know, Microsoft runs a program. I'm not sure that Sony does anything like this, but they do Xbox Free Play Days, which features, games usually during certain weekends that you can play for free. You can download them and play them. A lot of times you can actually play the entire game. So you do have to be a Game Pass subscriber with Ultimate, Standard, or Core. And then you get 3 free Xbox games to play in the weekend. With the weekend almost here, it's time to look at this week's free play titles. This weekend, Game Pass subscribers can dive into Survival, Fountain of Youth, Captain Edition, The Catch, Carp and Course Fishing, and Star Overdrive. All 3 titles will be free to play for all subscribers over the weekend. So it's a good week for subscribers, as none of the games on offer are included in Xbox Game Pass library, giving you a chance to really check out some new titles you might not have seen before. With that said, The Catch, Carp, and Course Fishing was once included in Game Pass, so you might have already checked it out, but otherwise it's still pretty awesome to kind of check it out. Also, I want to kind of throw in that the Battlefield 6 beta is free to download as well right now. That's getting kind of rave reviews. A lot of people seem to be all about, playing the Battlefield game. And, listen, I hope that it's back. Call of Duty could use some competition. I've always said, every single game, every single business needs competition. Coke needs Pepsi, McDonald's needs Burger King. You need these things. Xbox needs PlayStation, PlayStation needs Xbox. You need these things. I really like Madden. NFL, in my opinion, needs NFL 2K back in like the worst way, because it creates, that competition there that needs to be there. But anyway, just some quick rundowns on what some of these games are. Survival, Fountain of Youth, Captain's Edition, single player open world survival game. Fountain of Youth sends you on an adventure to the Caribbean islands. As a shipwrecked 16th century explorer, you need to survive the island's many dangers by crafting tools, building shelters, delve into the secrets of an ancient civilization, and learn about your own fate in the process. If you care about completion percentage or achievement, you might want to give it a miss. Judging by the achievement list, achievement for building a schooner appears to be unobtainable, with no players having unlocked it since the game launched. The Catch, Carp, and Course Fishing. Let's see, it's a relaxing game which puts you on the shores of serene virtual lakes for a spot in fishing, with over 35 species of fish to hunt from a plethora of locations around the world. Boss fish for tougher angling adventures, and a full arsenal of tackle. This will be a good one to chill with if you just want to kick back, relax, and lose yourself in the virtual world. Unfortunately, while the premise is relaxing, you'd be hard pushed to complete this one over the weekend, as only 3 people have unlocked all 30 achievements according to this article, which I'll link. They don't have an estimated completion time, so you might want to give it one a miss. But listen, it's not all about achievements. I mean, I know a lot of people, myself included, like achievements, but I don't care. care, man. If I can get 300-400 gamer score off of a free game over the weekend, hey, I'm gonna do it. That sounds fine by me. And lastly but not least, Star Overdrive, an action-adventure game. Star Overdrive sees you racing across an alien planet on a hoverboard, conquering enemies by altering gravity and mastering a plethora of puzzles. It's a fast-paced, kinetic experience that refuses to pump the brakes as you attempt to help BIOS find a way home after intercepting a distress signal. It launched on Xbox in June of this year. Nobody's unlocked all the achievements, and there's no estimation on it either. But, hey, cool to see that stuff. I will link this. You guys can check it out. I'm giving you plenty of time to, go out there and download these games and things like that. You'll have, a good time playing them and checking them out, which I think is pretty darn cool. And, I also think that it's just one of those things where Microsoft is, doing the best they can to try to get people to go out there and, maybe buy games and things like that. Always an important aspect of gaming, in my opinion. So, hey, yeah, go out and do that. Also, I talked about the perpetually free games. If you have not heard about these and you have an Xbox One or an Xbox Series X or S, Crackdown 1 and 2 completely free. Yes, those are 360 games, but if you have a newer Xbox, like Crackdown 1 in particular is 4K. They really did a good job with that. Crackdown 2, not as good as Crackdown 1, but still a fun game, and I still think worthwhile on downloading it and playing it. And also the game Too Human, which was a Silicon Knights game, kind of like a Valhalla type take on that, like Thor's Valhalla and things like that. But it's got a little bit of wonky controls, but overall also a very interesting game and a very fun game. And hey, who cares? It's like, who's going to turn down the chance to get free games added to your library or whatever, so I think that's kind of at the point where we're at right now. Nice to see Microsoft doing these things and Microsoft kind of improving all along the way. I love to see that. I like to see when Microsoft can go out there and make things better for everybody. Just in general, I think gaming is in need of all the good news and all the good stories that it can get. So when obviously they're offering free stuff, sometimes I don't know if they do this weekly, but when they do it, I think I'll do a video on it now, since so many people seemed interested in it. It's cool to just be able to kind of see that and kind of get into it and just enjoy playing the games and things like that. I think gaming is starting to rebound. Things are starting to heal. We are in a very much interesting, kind of place in the world, and I just got to say it's pretty fantastic to see people, enjoy gaming for what it is. And if you have an Xbox or whatever, hey, going to be able to play these games and have a good time with it. And I think that's kind of what it's all about, at the end of the day. And like I said, also mentioned earlier, Battlefield 6 beta, you can download that, play it if you're into like that. I've heard tremendous things about that game, and it's nice to see that they're actually going out there kind of making sure that people can have some things to play. They're fixing different things in that beta, and like I'll always say, we need competition. Competition is a great thing, and at the end of the day, to be able to see competition is kind of booming there. You know what I mean? Like, look, the last Battlefield game sucked. I think they realized that the competition was tough. What did it do? It made them kind of start over and really invest into it, and really kind of made them understand that they have to kind of listen to fans and not just kind of push stuff on people or follow the trends. I think that trend following can be a disastrous thing for a lot of people. So hopefully we'll see what happens, and at the same point in time, Microsoft will have to do a really good job of making sure that people have some nice things to play or whatever. So if you enjoy free stuff, like I said, look no further. I'm going to link this in the description. You guys can follow along and download that stuff. Also, like I said, Crackdown 1, Crackdown 2, and Too Human perpetually free on the Xbox Store. It does not hurt to add those to your library and download those. They're not huge files or anything like that. And you know, they're just games that are fun to kind of mess around with and goof around with. So keep that in mind as well. It's just like I said, just a nice thing to see, and you know, hopefully you guys can enjoy some of this or play some of these and, you know, have a good time with it. Thank you all so much for watching. I certainly appreciate it. If you enjoyed my content, like, share, subscribe. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. I'll catch you guys here next time. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer out.